Hey everybody, welcome to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're just going over the last comments and thoughts we have on The Witch from Mercury. The whole thing is wrapped up, but we still got a whole bunch of comments here, so we're going to make sure each of you gets your time to shine and see what you have to say. Fuzzy Mud here says, my theory with the mother's code is maybe she put it in to stop her dad from doing something against the wish that they had, or just in case someone actually stole Quiet Zero. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. I was going over the synopsis, and it basically said again that it was Mjorn's mother's plan. Quiet Zero was her plan all along. So that she has like ultimate project superiority, yeah, it checks out. It's fine. And of
Yeah,
course, not trusting Delling also totally would make
you know what?
sense.
I'm going to go ahead and mark off one of my thoughts for later and respond now.
Go for it.
Uh, yeah, I think we made a comment that we thought maybe it's Norette in there, like 24th Ward style, when in fact it turns out it was Elan 4 the whole time. The thing that stopped, this thing that stopped Aerie from killing all of Suleta's friends in the pod. That she turns around and says, "But this is the life we kind of have." That was Elan 4, as we got shown at the end of the episode.
Hmm. All right then. Up next, we have Joseph Stevens saying, as a longtime Gundam fan, G-Witch is currently my favorite AU. I actually love how they ended it, with not just a happy and hopeful ending, but one that Tomino wanted to reach but couldn't write himself. A world where the children confront the sins of the past and succeeded somewhat. His depression and frustration always dominated how he wrote, but one of his best works, Turn A, was ultimately a happy story. Gundam, in general, is bittersweet in its themes. Ichiro Okoichi, G-Witch's head writer, was part of the writing team for Turn A. I guess this is also his love letter to both Gundams and its themes. Him giving us a story of hope in a broken world that is starting to heal. Thank you both for the watch along, and I hope you have a great time. Hey, thanks, Joseph. We're just glad you stuck around and had some fun with us.
Yeah, the first guy that they mentioned. You remember that interview that I sent you where they said Zelensky might be a new type or a budding new
Oh
type?
no.
That's that
Oh
guy.
no. Oh no. Yeah,
That's
I
the
can see.
Tomo guy, not the Chiro guy that you know is the guy who wrote Code Geass and Turn A apparently.
Yeah, I can. I think with that Zelensky stuff, I can see the depression and frustration there. Not going too deep into that one though. Yeah, I mean, like I always enjoy Gundam 4. It's kind of like bittersweet portrayal of like actually trying to end conflict and war and stuff. That even if you succeed, it kind of isn't going to be great. And I mean, people still died in Gundam in G Witch here, right? People are still absolutely dead from all of this. Yeah.
Yeah, you
But
know,
but the main characters get a resolution at least where they can have a happy life going forward.
and a
So
large number of side characters as well.
and a large number of side characters, basically the people we actually care about directly and got screen time for. Some of the people who died in the school rubble, no, they're fine.
Well, we have mentioned them already. The 6 friends that got turned down
Yeah,
to 3 friends.
yeah. I think what I'd probably say is I would definitely be happy with the depressive, bittersweet ending. I'm happy with the happy ending too.
Well, I
Maybe
hope
it doesn't all have to be tragedy, but I got biases.
I hope that this is the path that Gundam takes for the future. This is the kind of show we can
Mhm.
expect. We don't always have to turn back towards, sad, depressive kids and ruined childhoods. We can get happy,
Mm.
non-understanding kids who had, as it turned out, bad childhoods but didn't understand that they did, while also at
Yeah.
the same time joining into society with the rest of us, like high school trauma that we all understand because most of us have gone to a high school at some point.
Most of us have been traumatized by high school, yeah.
I guess maybe not in Japan where high school is an elective. You don't have to do high school. But,
Hmm.
we all understand the social construct that is school and going to it and the horrors that is other people and corporations. We all understand that we're all living under the thumb of latent stage capitalism. So that you're
Mhm.
born into it and weren't given a choice. So, you know, there are
Yeah.
horrors out there worse than war. Some of them last your entire life.
I think if I were to just read the room on the year 2023, I think a happy ending is something we all probably need for when all of this ends, right?
Well, as I can speak to my own depressions here, the happy ending that then gets ripped away from you is the saddest ending of all.
Oh yeah. And I think my only final comment is, I'm starting to suspect Ichiro just likes putting people into wheelchairs. If you watch Code Geass, you'll start to understand. All right. Next comment, MDK CDE saying, "My only gripe with G-Witch is that I wanted more episodes, more time to breathe. Imagine how hard-hitting would episode 18 be if it was preceded by an episode based around Cradle Planet." For reference, episode 18. Let's go ahead and just check that out as a refresher. Our Empty Selves. That was the one where... Uh... Oh yeah, Suletta is coping and then gets ejected into space and completely loses it.
Yeah.
That was the episode.
Well, I mean, it also follows along that the idea for the prologue used to be that that would take place between seasons 1 and 2, so that you'd have the backstory hit. But, I think it served better as a prologue.
Yeah. I do definitely agree with the concept that I wish the series had more episodes. I wish it had more time to cook some of its things, because I think, like, in our own, like, observations, a lot of stuff kind of gets pushed aside just to end the show, which, happens.
It didn't get its full Gundam run. Every Gundam that we've watched so far, or are watching, are 50-episode runs, and this one got its legs swept out from under it. I felt like, anyway.
Right. And I think our next comment here, Mary saying, "My opinion on the three branches, Earth House and the married couple. Peel Technology. So, did Peel Company leave the frack to Earth House? I thought they would keep it since it's a Gundam. I don't like how fast Master Elan's character development was because he was in the shadows throughout the series. He was unpleased by Sal and Peel Company firing that giant laser beam from the last episode. Master Elan really said, peace to the Peel witches, laughing, crying emoji. Glad that Suletta and Elan 4 were able to reunite one last time, since they never met each other on their real date, crying in heartbreak. It's sweet that Elan 5 went traveling to look for the location that Noria drew in her sketchbook. Happy face. I think we could probably go ahead and, talk about this part before we keep moving on, because there's a bunch of parts.
Well, Elan 4 was like Suletta's first emotional thing. That gets said in both interviews, and I think the voice actors themselves say it. But you also have to recognize that if Elan 4 stuck around, Murine might not have been a thing. So, or Sulamio, right? As it gets said. So, it had to happen one way or another. And the fact he gets uploaded into, I don't know, temporary immortality, because it's kind of assumed he's dead now.
It's kind of weird. Like, my proposition was just like he has, like, his memories are just stored there, so you do get like a construct of personality. But I mean, he's totally dead.
Well, he's dead now. The only person that's
He's officially totally dead with no remaining bit of him. Yeah.
right. Suletta saved one person from all of that, and that was her sister. So
Prospera just being like, "No, I need my husband again."
yeah, I can't remember. I think Master Elan literally calls them bitches or something in his sign off "I quit" thing. It's written, and if you zoom in, there's something insulting there. I think it's bitches, but I can't recall.
I love his peace out scene. I clipped that image. I absolutely love it. I'm keeping it around forever. Uh, in terms of Master Elan, yeah, he doesn't get like a whole lot of screen time or development. He just kind of commenting on the side. He does show up for the business innovator meeting party thing that they had, because he had to drop in and do that in cover for Elan 4 until Elan 5 pops up next episode.
The thing is that what Master Elan is he's basically the war games of this, in that the only winning move is not to play.
Right. He he gets out scot-free from all of this for doing nothing, so congratulations, Master Elan, you win.
More than scot-free. He's rich.
But at least as far as Elan 5 goes, I do like his ending the most. It's definitely the most bittersweet out of all of them, isn't it?
Well, the moment that the internet hit that the thing that she was drawing,
Mm-hmm.
once they saw it, evidently it's in another anime. I think we mentioned this before. It's in another anime, and I just never bothered to remember what anime it's from to see where it is. So
Right, right.
that would probably have helped. Like I say, oh, I know where Elan 5 needs to go. It's this place.
All right. Next they say, Grassley Defense Systems. Love how Shaddiq is taking accountability for his sins. Although he admitted that he planned the attack of Planet Kita, he also took the blame for Quiet Zero, even though he was not a part of it. Is there a reason why Sarius hates Gundams, or has he had the same opinion as Delling? Also, Mjorn took his harem laughing crying emoji. Fun fact, Grassley is the only 3 branches that never made a Gundam. What do you think about this?
I guess technically, because there was also that conversation that Shaddiq had with Prospera during one of the episodes, where he's talking. Apparently, he's trying to bring Prospera on board, so Shaddiq would have built a Gundam, is what I'm
Mhm.
hearing. But also, she says, if you were so hard up to get a Gundam, wouldn't you have recovered the wreckages of the Lifrith and Ur? And
Mhm.
that's her snide comment to him, like, "Hey, I know you did the school shooting thing, so this is obviously why you didn't." But I'll also clip another part out of my Theta's thoughts here. Um, Shaddiq's written confession came from the previous episode where Mirin told him to believe in her. She was always planning to dissolve the company, and assumedly the USB-looking thing that Naji breaks is what connects Shaddiq to the Donna Fold, allowing the Shaddiq, allowing Shaddiq to take the fall for everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and mention that too. That it's entirely planned just because he is willing to believe in Bjord and like that they will actually solve the problems that he was trying to set out to solve,
That's
which
why
was,
they.
getting a happy Earth.
It's why there's that scene of Shaddiq saying "Allah
Mhm.
Celeste." I can't remember the thing. The thing they say before they do a fight, where he's like listening to the transmission of yeah, I'm dissolving the company. And he's like, ah, she's doing it. Because that's the conversation that we didn't see them have. It's like the whole Bamora telling Bjorn thing, that it happens
Yeah.
off screen and we know it happens. That
Mhm.
this is a conversation that they start on screen, doesn't happen on screen.
Yeah. And at least as far as Sarius, I think during your watching, I think Sarius does not have a negative opinion of Gundams all that much, and it's mostly Delling. And Sarius just kind of has been going along with it. And I think we even declared like maybe he feels regretful because Delling basically kind of went behind his back on that.
He does not like Gundams. Sarius does not like Gundams. He's the one who starts the whole thing,
Hmm.
but he did not want them to attack and kill people for it. That's what he
Right.
regrets. But even throughout the entire first 5 episodes, he
Yeah.
is like, that thing is a Gundam, shut it down. And even when Delling gets injured in like the start of season 2, Sarius is there in front of a committee by himself. These things are
Hmm.
fucking Gundams, shut them down. Sarius does not like Gundams.
All right. Well, there we go. At least we clarified that. Uh, but has he ever declared any particular reason why?
It would have been in the prologue. Whatever he's starting. So the thing is that the Delling overshadows him in the prologue so much
Hmm.
with his speech that it's hard for me to remember what Sarius says in the beginning of the speech before Delling takes over.
Right. At best we got he's allied to Delling. That's it.
Well, Delling was like a just like a rugrat in the company, and then he just fucking makes a power move because of Vim. Him and Vim get together.
On Jeter Heavy Machinery, happy that Petra is finally at Lotta's side. Happy face. Ghoul is happy for them and enjoying being CEO of Jeter Company. His father would be so proud. Now he has to deal with the torment of Master Elan and Cecilia. Even though they're not canon, I still ship Suletta and Ghoul. Heck, if Spider-Man or any sci-fi genre taught us that there's always an alternate dimension. Maybe there's an alternate dimension where Suletta marries Ghoul. Heart. It's a shame that we only got to see the swords being used twice. Also, somebody built a golden statue of Felsi for saving Ghoul. Probably Ghoul did.
Also, it's probable that Ghoul is not running Jeturk heavy machinery, in that it got dissolved with the rest of the Bennett group, so it's more likely that Ghoul is trying to restart Jeturk heavy machinery.
Right. All the business kids are resetting the business status quo, basically.
Well,
They're going on their own things, starting new things, and they are in charge of something.
I have further thoughts on that, but they have thoughts I cannot cut that one out because it's part of a larger thing.
Okay, we'll come back to that. But Ghoul's desire for Suletta is basically just kind of like both season long unrequited love kind of thing.
You know what?
After episode 3, he declares that he loves her, keeps trying for it, and tries until the very end with like the fence off. I think that also like applies like an extra level to what they were doing.
I do have another theta thought that's tangential to this, but I can include it here.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I started with speaking of Mjorn, so ignore that part. But remember how Ghoul challenges Suletta to defeat her in a duel in order to become the holder, in order to up the status of his company, in order to be able to reestablish it once again to where it was before? So glad that worked out for him in the end when Mjorn sells all his company assets to Earth.
Let's be fair, Bjorn was literally just trying to save the entire day. I don't blame her.
Her back
But
was
yeah, no,
against the wall, I understand it, but at the same time, Ghoul's like, you are precious to me, Suletta. Now I'm going to betray you because my family stuff is more important to me. Oh shit, Mjorn swept me legs out from under me.
it's just the Jeturk family curse. He can't escape, alright?
Yep.
If I were to put my alternate dimension relationship, it would honestly just be Suletta, Ghoul, and Mjorn in a triangle. They get that anyway, honestly.
I've seen enough of that art, yeah.
On Earth House. Glad that everyone made it out alive as well. I thought half of them would die. Proud that Nika served her time in prison, make everything up on what she did and pursue her dreams. Choo Choo and Ryoji. Any thoughts on that?
With the Choo Choo and Ryoji. I mean, I guess we never saw anybody actually evacuate Quiet Zero. They all just did that off screen. And then I guess Choo Choo and Ryoji. I have a thing that's all a thing, so I can't remove that from my latest thoughts. See that later. But sorry, my last thought on that is I keep hearing Ryoji, and I think it's with the help of Kyoji.
We could not have two different personalities.
Well, I guess they couldn't have done it without the help of Ryoji.
Yeah, no, that's
the tomatoes thing and everything.
Technically the most instrumental character. But yeah, I suppose Nika serving time eventually had to happen, but Choo Choo at least still has a mechanic.
Well, she said she'd do it. That's the point.
No, I still needed Nika and Choo Choo to solidify that they're a relationship too, though, unfortunately. We didn't quite get that.
Nope.
Happy couple. Congratulations to Suletta and Mjorn off their marriage. Suletta finally opened her own school in Mercury and Earth real soon. I saw Seto is going to school too. It's probably Suletta's. Also, Prospera aged up in 3 years. Funny how Airy is now a keychain. Hope you recover soon, Suletta. I'm going to miss this series. Waking up early Sunday morning for this. Goodbye, our beloved Tanuki. Until next time.
Yeah, like I said, very depressing. I will wrap another THETA'S thoughts into this one then.
Sure.
You know, if you look at the season 2 promotional poster, the one that everyone is like reaching towards what looks like Mjorn. Seeing it now, everyone isn't reaching out for Mjorn. All their hands point towards the tiny blue doll Airy is in.
You know?
And actually, now that I've written this out, and I did a little thing earlier.
Yeah.
Eri is not in the blue doll. Eri is in the red doll, and I don't know where the red doll is in that poster. But everybody is actually reaching for the blue doll. If you look at it, all their hands are extended there, and the line of sights all go towards that blue doll.
Save the baby. Save Aaron. Oh, there we go. It's just good art overall. Let's see. But yeah, no, we're all missing the routine here.
Oh, also Seto is not going to Suleta's school because Seto is obviously already in school and they're having a conversation about starting a school. So
there you go.
she's not. She says another school, so which implies that she started the one on Mercury that she said she wanted to, which is fairly easy to do because, as we already know, Mercury has no children, which means that she just opened a empty place.
Lure the children in. Do it. And here are some of Mary's final concluding thoughts. There's some threads on this series, like second comic, as my first one was about everyone is too long. Did the Dawn of Fold really call it quits after Mjorn's announcement? I feel there's more potential for them to have screen time, especially Olcott. Perhaps more expanded backstory for him and Avery? Mjorn's mother's backstory, and there's a theory that she helped Prospera on creating Airy clones. Someone pointed out that in episode 8, Ojella Gabble, Gambling Kid, was the only one who didn't watch Dr. Neto's video. What's his backstory? I heard there's more character in G Witch light novel. Maybe we can have a spin-off series with them. I want to see Mercury. The fact we never seen or visited the planet is crazy. Choo Choo and her family are from Earth. Maybe a campfire trip with Ghoul and Elan 5 because they sure love to spend time in the woods. Laughing, crying emoji. Hey, maybe Elan 5 can tell Ghoul his real name that we never get to know. Suletta and Bjorn wedding! Exclamation marks. We can have them in the third core or maybe an OVA. I think probably the most likely thing, if there were to be any revisit to this at all, it would have to be an OVA. It would definitely be like an Endless Waltz style OVA, I think, where they try to reset a little bit, go back over the primary themes, and give cool character redesigns.
Or another 2-season spread in the future with Seto as a grown-up, and we have adult versions of the characters that we know. Or, I mean, more adult than obviously Seto would be, because they'd be older. But, yeah,
Right,
no, I
right.
mean, there's so many things you could do. I mean, I don't think the Dawn of Fold is, like, wrapping up. Because there's still, I mean, Olcott's got some deep-seated, like, repressed issues that we only saw once, and that was it. I don't think he's given up.
For such a good character, he only shows up for a short amount of time, unfortunately. But yeah, no, there's a whole lot there with like, what is the local mercenary group doing, kind of thing.
Well, they're not even local. Remember, they spanned the solar system. All they needed was like a ride, and then they messed up Planet Krita.
I would totally watch like a short of Ghoul and Elan 5 just camping together. That'd be hilarious. But Elan 5 just sassing more people is honestly what I need.
I mean, that sounds like the one of the bonus things you get on the CDs, like when we listened to the milking duel.
Oh gosh, yes. No, we need that animated too. That'd be great. That maybe half the fun of that is that it's not.
I wouldn't complain on anything we got animated.
Yeah, true. Next comment here though is Citizen Actual. I completely agree with you guys. I think this will go down as the best Gundam AU, and I don't think it'll be surpassed for quite some time. Yeah, I think if I were to go ahead and give a comment to the series as a whole, is that it is very concisely focused onto the drama of the individual characters, and that makes it really, really good. Its scale is very different from other
A
Gundams.
lot of the Gundams that I have seen, including the ones that we've seen on here, seem like the characters are only exist to drive the Gundam fights. Like, we see them only so that we have context to then watch a Gundam battle happen. Whereas Witch from Mercury felt like the battles happened not specifically because of the characters, but like, well, one, because we had to sell merchandise, but two,
Yeah.
two, like, instead of getting into a fist fight with one another, they had this other thing that they could do, and they did that. Otherwise, this entire show, I feel like, well, except for obviously the sci-fi bits, could have taken place in just like a Dawson's Creek setting, where instead of duels, we get into fights or races or things. So it's very character driven, and I really like that.
Yeah, the comment I keep making and rephrasing all the time is definitely fights should matter. The characters should have a reason why they actually care about fighting each other. And I think literally every fight does. Because the duel system that they set up initially is specifically we're fighting because we have a really good reason about it. We are putting stuff on the line. We are both highly motivated into this.
Because
And the fight is about that.
at the end of the day, a Gundam is just a gun, right?
Mhm.
And the gun should not have more character than the person holding it.
Right. That's pretty fair. Up next we have Nexus Yang. You said it perfectly. It was a series I think they had a story to tell along with Gunpla, and they had a great banger of a beginning, middle, and end. Could they have drawn this out longer? Oh heck yeah. I'd be lying if I myself did not want more. I think a lot of the fans that dug this series wish that there were, because there was just so much more stories to be told. The Earthian stories, the Spacian stories, even the background characters could have more. I thought we were going to get some more stories of Nika and how she got roped into all of this. Yet, despite all the layers, they just gave us the story between Suletta and Mjorn and boom. But it would not disappoint me one bit if there was a wedding OVA. Maybe we could wrap that up into our OVA.
I mean, when you pitch it like that, the first thing that I think of is, you know, this only concludes the story of the witch from Mercury. What if we got uh, I almost forgot her real name, Choo Choo, a Choo Choo based story, and it was an Ad Stella series completely set in the girl from Earth, something like that.
That would be funny. Just draw a cute little parallel there.
Well, I mean,
Choo
because
Choo goes on to be high-tech mercenary.
well, no, she's got a complicated backstory we never got into. Like all those
Mhm.
guys that were there who obviously helped get her to uh, the school to begin with, because
Mhm.
obviously it's hard for an Earthian to get to such a prestigious place, such as the Bennett sponsored school.
Mhm. So I think one last question right there is Theta. Which gunpla are you getting?
I already said I'm not going to start with the Gunpla. I want to start with the figures.
Mm-hmm.
Suletta and Mjorn, because it's the characters that drew me to the show, not the
Yeah.
Gundams. I didn't see Ariel and say, I want to see that show. I saw this girl that had a hard time talking to people and had a nervous energy and was happy to see stuff, and that's what drew me into the show. She's like
Yeah.
a Bochi, but in sci-fi and Gundam.
You got like a character archetype you really like here, Theta. Keep it up. I mean, if I have to get one, I'm probably getting the Fract. I just think it looks cool.
I think I would
Uh,
start with the Schwartz if I was. I mean, if the I'll, my
the two
problem
that never
is
fought each other.
that you're asking the question, and I'm obviously going to work in order. I would get
Oh yeah.
Saluda and Mio, and then I would get the Ariel, and then I would
Hmm.
get the Darabalde, and then obviously. But if I was
You're
going to
gonna get
like,
the whole collection. There you go.
yeah, if the boil down to your question is what's your favorite Gundam, I would say the Schwartz. Which somebody, by the way, in the Gundam Discord pointed out to me. Everything you like about the Schwartz is just its sword.
Yeah.
All the gun bits, those are the sheath to its sword. All the laser stuff, that comes from the sword. Remember the
The
sword?
sword itself
Sword
also
was a
really cool.
sword. Yeah, you take the sword away from the Schwartz, it's got some rockets in its wrist, and that's it.
Yup. Uh, and our last comment right here is Fumikado. Thanks for the good reaction. I personally think this is the number one piece in the last 5 years. It was a work created by a young artist with a strategy on how adults can reach children instead of creating a work for young people. One, it was a trick from the prologue to mislead the audience into believing that Ericto was Suletta when he grew up. 2. Mom's revenge drama equals Mercury as a poisonous parent. One of them is Prospera, complete brainwashing, proxy soldier. The second is Belmeria, educational abuse, cramming excessive education. When Prospera came to school, the horrific brainwashing performance was great. 3. The more you use permit particle, the higher permit score. That there are also side effects. The data storm is a storm of information. Does it represent internet tolerance? Somehow I feel like it's a metaphor for the present day. Alright. How we want to tackle this?
I mean, you say that, no. My first thought is like substance abuse. But I guess if you think about substance abuse and internet addiction, they're kind of like in the same spectrum.
I think it's a cyberpunk theme here. Your human brain cannot possibly comprehend all this information coming through, so you just literally burn out and melt. Congratulations.
Well, we already know by Prosper, and I'm sorry,
Hmm.
there was a previous comment that addressed the fact that she like had gray hair. She seemed to age really quick,
Hmm.
and that's because of her progressive deterioration due to permit use. Because assumedly, I mean, we can reach back to the comments like I hear them in my ear all the time, and the helmet means that she's probably hiding the fact that she's constantly using the permit to contact Eri, which means
Yeah.
that she's probably been in states of like permit score 1 to 3 all the time, and that's why her body is physically no longer capable of movement anymore.
Right, and the only time she stops is to take off the helmet dramatically, show people her face, and go, "Look, everything's normal," and then put it right back on.
Yeah, I guess the closest comparison to other shows that we're watching is like Linker from Symphogear.
Hmm. Let's see. Mercury as a poisonous parent is kind of like a very interesting metaphor. They could have really built off of that, I think, but they just kind of they didn't stick on it.
Yeah, as per the previous comments again, we never went to Mercury, and
Hmm.
I, for the entire run of the show, kept trying to connect that one elder on Mercury that hated Prosper for some reason to
Hmm.
everything that's going on. And it
He just really hated that kid.
turns out no, he's just a curmudgeon, just an old angry guy.
Yeah. And of course, the initial trick from the prologue, tricking everyone into thinking Eric was Suletta the entire time, which honestly was absolutely fantastic. It had us guessing the whole way through, and of course, the reveal, we were just happy we were paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as I was on Reddit and I saw people talking, and
Mhm.
everyone, all it seemed to me like the majority of people were in disagreement that Eri and Suletta were different people. I mean, even
Yeah.
I made that little note with the dates and what happened to which person, and
Oh, we
why.
did a lot of dating there.
Yeah, and why it made sense that Eri was not Suletta because otherwise she'd be like a 25-year-old girl, and it didn't
Hmm.
make sense to the person that we saw. So I didn't feel like I got tricked because I was obviously arguing on the side that Eri was not Suletta.
Right, it's a twist is basically what it is, and I think it was a good one. It didn't have to rely on upending everything we know in order to have it happen. It was just like, hey, we just kept this bit secret for you, and now you get to recontextualize everything that's happened.
It's a hard word.
Yeah,
But
it sure is.
yeah, no, again, this is one of the reasons why I love having been able to do this while the show was coming out, as opposed to like Gundam 00, where people can slap us with the information that they know from like 10 years of the show have already been out. Like, we were here for people arguing that the Vanatus incident. See, words are hard. The Vanatus incident that we saw on the screen wasn't the only Vanatus incident. They could have just been more that we didn't see. People were
Mhm.
arguing that Suletta is the age that she is because the 20 years ago thing that Belmora mentions in this episode might have been a different. We were here for the conjecture, and I love that we were here for the conjecture, so that for all time, our thoughts are in video, and people will know what was going on when Witch from Mercury came out, and people were being dumb on the internet.
That's right, internet. We were first. Yeah.
Well, actually, we were last because we always were like a week.
Oh,
We were consistently a week behind until we immediately caught up.
There you go. So I think with the comments done, I'm probably just go ahead and leave one last message of just thanks everybody for being here, watching with us, leaving comments, and just joining with us on this little adventure. This is a fun time with all of you.
Yes, yes, I very much love that we spent just about every week talking to you, the community, in the comments below. It was fun to have this ride with a bunch of people sitting in the back seat.
Yeah. And of course, to go ahead and just finish talking about Witcher Mercury for today, though, Theta, you have some more thoughts about what was going on in your head. Give us your final thoughts for the finale.
Will do. Alright, first up, we have the Gundam Sales. Now, what do you see on there, Griff? I'm gonna have to lean into you on some of these
Oh
pictures,
yeah.
especially the ones that have words, because my view of them are very tiny when I'm doing this.
Let's see, we're doing the one by fiscal year here, right?
The
Yeah, and
one with
everything's adjusted
the
by
one with
week.
Ariel on it.
Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right, so yeah, we have a listing of from 2008 to right now, each of the Gundams as they came out and how much they made, which is generally kind of an indication of how popular they were because obviously, if you like it more, you probably bought the stuff, right? Um, Easily outclassing literally everything is our Yuri show. I mean, The Witcher Mercury. 131. What's amusing to me is that even during the pandemic and lockdown, they were still increasing in profit constantly, which is kind of amazing. But I
Yeah,
guess that's because people were just buying more stuff while they had nothing to do.
I guess also the Gundam Build Fighters must be a pretty good show because it was also doing pretty good as compared to everything else around it,
Yeah.
and whatever Greco is.
IBO started off hot and then went down.
Yeah,
Just yeah, no, I think that about describes the IBO experience right there.
and then
And of course,
Build Divers kind of is the start of the ramp back up again, which I
mhm.
guess means that the shows like Build Fighters and Build Divers are pretty good.
I like that unicorn. The one that everyone keeps saying that Witcher Mercury is referencing is actually kind of the lowest point on the entire graph, isn't it?
It's hard to tell because it looks like Unicorn spans from 2011 to 2015 on here.
Hmm.
I can't tell where it ends.
It
So,
kind of oh yeah, I guess it's like across like 5 years there, and then there's three other projects going on at the same
right,
time.
because I mean, if you look at it, it looks like it ramps up pretty well, but the fact that Age and Build Fighters is in there too could be just that's additive that those
I
shows
guess
added to.
yeah, I guess maybe it's more the case that it looks like Gundam Double O actually maybe left a sour note in everyone's mouth.
And yet it's everyone's favorite.
And yet it's everyone's favorite. So,
But
or
yeah,
maybe they just bought everything early.
I mean, but yeah, the point is that the Witch from Mercury sales are basically the equivalent to 2 to 3 years of every other series sales, except for the obvious, like Build Divers and Build
Mhm,
Divers is like a little bit more in 2 years than Witch from Mercury made in 1 year, but
mhm,
still, that's a big difference. Like combine all 3 years of Gundam 00,
mhm.
and I'm pretty sure that Witch from Mercury in 1 year made more.
Then the entirety of Gundam Double O, yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
the
if you wanted numbers onto how popular was this one, the answer is immensely, amazingly, more than anything
well, I
else.
mean, if you want to switch over to the inflation figures,
Oh yeah, I figured that was the same numbers we were running over there.
well, no, it would say if this happened in the same, right? If the same amount of money was spent then as now.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, so according to the same chart, we get about the same figures here. The numbers are adjusted. 42 is a little bit better than the 38 low, or the 37 as compared to the 34. But we still get the same kind of curve here
Yeah.
in the end.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's not going to be like, oh yeah, 2010 money was so much more worth more than. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just mean that if you even equate it out, 3 billion yen is a lot of money.
Oh yeah. So that's the financials. At least you got any thoughts for that, or what we got?
Well, I mean, I think they speak for themselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you got next here? What's next in your brain?
Actually, the next one, I have to send you a link.
Oh no. Surprise link.
All right, next up is about a 2-minute segment at the end of the live show that happened just after the final episode, where Kana Ichinose is about to tell us what she thought of the show, or
All right.
of her experiences during it. And I think this is one of the parts that got to me the most as well.
Let's go ahead and take a look. You ready?
Count it.
3, 2, 1, go.
一ノ瀬から行かせていただきます。そうですね。ダメだ。
Already breaking down.
Well, again, this is like an hour and something into it, and they're about to wrap up,
頑張ってきたもんね。
and it's gonna be like the last time being together with everybody.
水星の魔女が私にとって大好きでかけがえのない作品になったなって思っていて、なんか最初はこうスレッタちゃん役に決まった時は
Here we go.
すごく
I wouldn't hang on to those closed captions too much.
プレッシ
Yeah,
ャー
they're not working.
もちろんあったんですけれど、でもせっかくならよりいいものにしたいし、自分自身も楽しまなきゃいけないなって
It's
思っ
fine.
て
Clear up what
気
she
持ちを
said later, so that's not a problem.
切り替えてからはなんかスレッタちゃんへの向き合い方も変わりましたし、なんか純粋にこうスレッタちゃんを演じることがすごく楽しくて、そんな緊張も吹き飛ばしてくれるくらいスレッタちゃんを演じることが本当に大好きなので、スレッタ・マーキュリー役としてこの作品に携わることができて本当に嬉しいです。ティッシュないですか？私の袖でよければ。
Yeah, there's a reason she's covering up her face the whole time. Cute.
That's Lotta's voice actor, by the way, right there on the left.
Right, filling up for Ghoul's voice actor.
Well, no, he would have been there anyway. And that's Muren's
こちらで
voice
す
actor
ね、
as
キャ
well.
リーバーンで
Lynn.
ございます。
もう大丈夫です。
Yeah, now they're trying to distract her. Here's the toys, everybody.
はい、すい
You
ま
know,
せ
it
ん。
was supposed to be Ghoul,
ありがとうございま
Lotta,
す。
たくさんある
Muren, and Suletta all there together.
なんか本当にもちろんいろいろな不安と楽しさの中でこの水星の魔女を1年間駆け抜けていったんですけれども、やっぱりこの駆け抜けることができたのはこの水星の魔女に関わってくれてるすべてのスタッフさんが本当に温かくて、
He said the same thing was happening to me when we were trying to wrap up
キャ
there
ストの
earlier.
方も本当に素敵な方たちばかりで本当に素晴らしい環境でお芝居をすることができたなって心から思います。それに
なんとシュバルゼッテもここにあるんですね。
Oh. She can't get through it. She can't
こ
finish.
ちらにございます。
はい。
This is why it feels very real to me the moment they tried to sell
本当に
merch
ごめんなさい。
Doing
together.
damage control
気が戻
immediately.
らない。あ、じゃあもう立って話し
Oh,
ます。
they're so supportive. It's so
ごめんなさい。
cute.
本当にいろいろ
They're
ごめん
trying
なさい
their
ね皆さん
best.
でもそんなこの水星の魔女をたくさんの方々が大好きでいてくれて愛していてくれたからここまでこう私たちもこう楽しくお芝居することができましたし、ものすごく励みになりました。本当に皆さんのおかげでよりこうたくさんの方々に水星の魔女が届いていったなっていう実感がすごくあるので、皆さんのおかげです。本当に1年間スレッタちゃんとして演じることができ、そして2クール なんですけれども、とても幸せな時間でした。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございます。ごめんなさい、いろいろと
Congratulations.
してしまってごめんな
There
さ
we
い。
go.
Alright.
There we go. She got through it. Oh,
So,
that was cute.
yeah, like I said, it hit me. I keep mentioning it because
Mhm.
if I needed a moment to tell me that, yep, the story's over, it's the moment the main character starts crying on stage.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, like, between the Sulette and Mjorn voice actors here, they definitely probably had, like, the hardest position to do, just because if they weren't, like, the best, and this didn't end up the best series, anyone and everyone could probably have just started saying, it's like, see, Gundam just doesn't work with female leads. But no, these two people, were the best actors they could possibly have gotten, and they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, we've even
They kicked it out of the
responded.
park.
We even not responded. We even watched G-Witch radio scenes where they talk
Mhm.
about like notes in the line margins and everything about how to act out things. So,
Mhm, mhm.
all right. Next up, we're actually gonna bring up Kana slash Suletta, the message they tweeted after the show, the thing that they had a hard time saying there.
Kana Ichise as Soletta Mercury.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna need you to read that one out because once again, I cannot. It's very tiny text. Can't see it.
Let's do it. Watch Mobile Suit Gundam Witch of Mercury. Thank you very much. Audition for the role of Soletta Mercury. When I got the job, I really wanted to play Suletta-chan, so I still remember how I practiced by looking at the work materials and lines until the paper was in tatters. And when I got the call that I had passed the exam, I was filled with surprise and joy that I would have been allowed to play the main character of Gundam. Of course, there was also pressure, but if I get to play Suletta-chan, I want to enjoy it. I want everyone to have fun. It became from the beginning to the end of the recording, it took about a year, and I think I learned a lot from Sureta-chan. The days I played Sureta-chan are treasures to me. Last but not least, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who made The Witch from Mercury a lot of fun. Everyone's support was very encouraging and made the play even more fun. Thank you for your continued support for The Witch from Mercury. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, so that's the transcription, right?
But she
Or the
tweeted it.
tweet she
She
did.
tweeted
There we
that
go.
after because obviously she had a hard time getting it out live.
Right, right, as we just saw. But yeah, no, I think I greatly loved her performance. I want to see what she does next.
I mean, she's already got an announced next role, so I don't remember what it is though.
Oh, okay.
It's not something that it's on our radar. So
Probably a slightly less high pressure role just to come off of Witcher Mercury here.
all right, I'm gonna let you pick what we do next. Let's go through the other voice actor messages, and you like what?
There we go. Shaddiq, Makoto Furukawa as Shaddiq. Good evening to all the viewers and cast members. This is Makoto Furukawa, who plays the role of Shaddiq Zenari. In the final episode, Shaddiq, who went to trial after witnessing the dismantling of the Benerit, was drawn. There weren't many scenes of him, but each line and expression contained various meanings. I feel that it was a fun portrayal of him. What happens when you go to court, I can't express it well in words, but it feels like I was heading towards Shaddiq Sinelli's last job, and I was deeply moved. In the 24 episodes of the two cores, there were really many incidents and events, and I had a very fulfilling time as a cast. Thank you very much to everyone who watched until the end, and to all the cast and staff. Thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you very much.
All right.
Let's see. Next one up is Hujang Natsuki as Elan Kerez. Good evening, Ichinose-san, Lee-san, and Atsuka-san. And good evening to all of you who are watching the distribution. This is Natsuki Hanae, who plays Elan and Elan and Elan. How was your final episode? For me, it was a very happy post-recording where the appearances of three Elans. Playing number 4 after a long time, I was happy to be able to help suit Uleta, and somehow 5 ended up playing the longest. It was also fun with the changes from the first appearances. The original Elan seems to be outrageous when combined with Cecilia, Guel, and Senpai Fight. It was a difficult story every week, but it was a work that gave me a lot of experience playing multiple roles in one work. Their lives will continue in the future, so I hope we can continue to do our best so that we can always walk together again. Let's see.
The
Up
dude did
next.
the most work.
Hey, yeah, 3 characters, each of them minutely different, and had to get them all across. He did a great job.
Oh, 2 of them were massively different. The other 2 were minutely different.
True. So back to Makimi Noto. All right. Everyone watching live stream, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you very much for your hard work. Finally back. Finally, the time has come. I was wondering how this epic story would end, but I never thought that there would be such a loving ending. Noto is crying hot tears. Please don't tell me not to spill it. Laughs. The feeling of a mother who had no choice to do that. There were many things that she shouldn't have done, but I understand. The love of Aletta, who loved such a mother, forgave her and embraced her. I want to express the depths of your love with about 100 lines between the lines. And above all, you broke the curse. I believe that Suletta's love and kindness were awakened, deepened, and nurtured through the existence of Mjorn. I'm glad Mjorn let her father go. I'm glad that you and your mother loved each other beyond time. Your strength and kindness when you told me that you would be my family. I was in tears. It was tears again. Well, and Lada. The two of us also have various trials. I'm sure that there were things that only the two of us could understand, things that were hard to see because they were too close. When the battle began, I wondered what would happen, but I saw that they were honest with each other, and continued to move forward from there. It was all tears after all. Brothers are nice. Good for you, Futari Tomo. Bonds and relationships are what you build. Though the various dramas of the work, I feel that I was taught once again that it was something that is nurtured. And this work also. For those of you who have seen it, I believe I have grown so much thanks to the thoughts of each and every one of you. I hope that this circle will continue to expand, become larger, deeper, and connect beyond time. I hope that all of you who are connected to this work will be able to move forward in a brighter direction suitable for the end of this work. If you go ahead, you'll get 2. I'm sorry, I really wanted to say that at the end. I hope to see you again somewhere. Thank you for watching the final episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Witcher Mercury. The live stream is also there. Until the end, everyone, please enjoy. See you soon. Mika Noto played the role of Prospera. Thank you. Oh, and they even have handwritten bye-bye at the very end.
I believe the whole thing was actually handwritten, which is...
I believe they erased all that to put in the translation.
No, I brought it to a translation thing. It covers it up with the translation stuff. But the whole thing is basically handwritten. I think it didn't translate bye-bye because it was already English. Yeah.
There we go.
She put in the most work to give a goodbye than everybody else.
But this was just very good sending off from everyone, and it seems like everybody had like a great time actually doing this, which is it's always good to hear that they actually had fun and they weren't just going through the torture farm that is the entertainment industry, you know?
I mean, I brought it up to the therapist chat that also was reacted to this. The fact that the people that wrote it are tweeting the whole run gain 1 thing. And then also the voice actors are also like including it in their messages, like, that wasn't a good thing, right?
It is and it isn't. Prospera definitely used it as a tool, but it's still motivational.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next thing, the song lyrics that you mentioned before.
Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at those.
These are the lyrics that play over the wrap-up scenes before we get to the credits.
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and get my death metal singing voice on. Get ready to sing it.
By the way, it's Anya, The End, is the artist.
There you go. Don't leave. Please don't leave me. I could be honest after hearing your voice. If the skies are cast, close the window. I'll cherish and protect you. It's like the world was covered in a thin layer of frost, and my heart began to thaw after I met you. Oh, let's keep going. These days that are like precious gemstones, I'm sure they'll go on just like this, just like this. The dreams I want to see with you even more, let blessings be woven into them gently. An unclouded day where my still bleeding heart is the only thing I'm aware of, how it sways.
Beating, by the way. Still beating her.
Yes, there we go. Hey, gotta do it in one.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, this is a very Mjorn perspective song lyrics, right?
It's hard to tell. I thought Red
Then again, the
Birthmark.
last song was also Mjorn perspective too,
I
right?
thought it was, but I mean, you could read it a number of ways. It's hard to tell. We're not good at this.
I'm good at narrative. I'm less so at songs, unfortunately.
I just thought it'd be worth putting out there since it's sung, obviously in Japanese over the thing. So that's what
Yeah.
the lyrics mean.
I think this definitely fits as a good reprise to like the same song that we were dealing with before, where it was, oh yeah, we'll have to hurt, but eventually we'll reform. And this is like, yeah, after all of it, you finally helped me.
Yeah, Red Birthmark.
Yeah, this is all good.
All right. We have that relationship tree that I mentioned, which is that
Oh yeah,
that stand. It's clearly taken from the end of season 1, but you can see all the characters, and it is a much better thing to look at than my web of character connections.
yeah. This is organized by company, which makes perfect sense. We don't have. I'm not seeing any surprises here. It kind of all makes sense. We have all of Earth House stuffed into the new Gundam Industries there. You can see the logo and like barely read the name too.
I think it is funny that Belmora and Master Elan are on the same tier. Belmeria, rather.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you don't consider those two to be on the same tier.
I guess you consider them to be the primary characters. Because definitely like while the Peel women are hilarious in their existence and everything they do, they are less directly involved than the other characters, though. Oh, so Master Eli barely is involved anywhere. But Belmore, like, is in everything.
Like I said, that's
I
why
don't
he
know.
wins. The only
Gosh.
winning move is not to play.
But then again, like, the two other Elan 4 and 5, like, if it was just by, like, importance of the story, they'd be up top. This is... organization is confusing. I don't know.
But yeah, basically everybody and their connections are all represented. I believe even on the far right you have the Sal people.
Mhm. Yeah, we got Sal, and of course, the Dominica group.
Dominicus.
Dominicus.
Yeah,
There
go
we go.
figure that the extremists will all be on the far right of this thing.
Earth House extremism, of course.
So I guess that
Uh,
puts the Jeturks on the far left.
I also really like this display they have going here too, just with all the model sets and characters. This is very cute. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I believe this has to come from the Gundam base, I believe it's called.
Mhm.
The place in Japan. It's just outside of the big old Gundam statue that moves.
Yeah, it makes sense that they're all handling that. What do you got next?
Let's see, what did I name the tab? Married. The image of Suletta and Mjorn with their hands up, both with wedding rings.
Yep. Officially happened. There you go. Show is 100% on board with it. 100% happening. It
Alright.
is true and confirmed. Actual couple. There
I
we
just
go.
wanted it on here so that nobody could say, at the end of the day, that these two didn't get married just because we didn't see it on screen.
I think the usual argument is that the representation can kind of be washed out if they don't kiss, and this is still technically true. You could probably still edit this out and like ship it off to somewhere that would not like this. But this is still representation. It still exists.
Alright.
It's still in the text. Like the show does not work in any other way.
I got one more on here before I just go to physical thoughts that I can just say real quick.
Sure.
The Grassley girls couple.
Oh yeah.
The two that we saw from the start, and they're still holding hands by the end, or at least clasping arms.
Yeah, I don't remember them doing this. Like, it doesn't stick out, but that's just because they're just the side characters.
The one
But it's
on
very cute that they get a happy ending like this too.
The image on the left is when Shaddiq is setting up. I think I want to say episode 13, when he's bringing Sophie and Noria to the school,
Yeah.
and those two are there to meet him and to figure out what the plan is. That's them waving bye to Shaddiq.
Right.
And of
Yeah,
course, the
that
one
checks
on the
out.
right is from the 3-year time skip.
Yeah, but they just look cute once they've grown up. That's adorable.
Yeah, they've been together for 3 years now. Alright. Back into regular Theta's Thoughts territory. Bring this
Let's
down
see
to a
what you
place that's
got.
easier to see. Final news clip, because I've covered every news article in it's in the show. I'm not going to get done now. Public hearings into former Benneret management resume this year. With surviving families of Quinn Harbor and Quiet Zero victims still outraged, these matters will carry over into the next round. That was the brief image we saw of Sarius and Delling on the on screen. Interesting note, we see Sarius and Delling in the lineup, but there is a third person I can't ever recall seeing with a nameplate in front of him called Mr. Bruno Thurman.
He must just be filler.
Or he could be, I don't know. I always want to say something for the next season, but
Bad guy for the OVA or something.
I'm gonna keep that name saved so I can look it up sometime later.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing it makes me think of is Strom Thurman, which is an old racist from South Carolina that you served on the Senate. So,
Oh no, Theta, you revealed too much.
let's see. Character wrap up 3 years later. I wanted to write this out because I had to, for the purposes specifically of this video. I would have felt disingenuous and wrong done if this wasn't in here.
Mm-hmm.
Nika gets out of prison, gets certified as a mechanic, but is still going to school and working at the same time. The leak at some point clearly went to France. The second reference to it in the series after Elan 4 mentioned Ariel's color scheme as being similar to French colors. If you don't remember, at the very end of the wrap-up, she's wearing a beret and like this very French getup. She's wearing the outfit that screams, "Ask me about my French vacation."
If I recall right, there is like a little bit of a Japanese obsession with France, especially like as a vacation spot. I think that may have been bigger like a decade ago or like a decade and a half at this point, but I mean, I'm sure that's still probably like in the popular consciousness. So, decided to go ahead and just paint one of your mechs French? Sure, go for it.
Well, you remember there's also the French Gundam and G Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Roji and Choo Choo work together at some space construction place. The way Roji shouts about verbal harassment sounds like a work environment thing. Anyways. Elan 5 is off trekking across Earth trying to find the place Noria drew in her book.
Mm-hmm.
Shaddiq is still undergoing trial for all the crimes he claimed were his. Mjorn is finishing the work she started in Quinn Harbor. Eri is inside Suletta's figurine that Mjorn carries around. The scene of Suletta grasping out towards Ariel 3 years ago was Suletta saving her sister, but Suletta and Mjorn both have devices on their necks that allow them to hear and talk to Eri.
Right, because that was Prospera had to use the helmet or like constantly be in permit before, so now they just made a solution. Makes sense.
Petra is going to be a tester for Gundam Incorporated, and Lotta is staying with her.
Mm-hmm.
Master Elan said he got headhunted 3 years ago, and whatever company hired him is well off enough that he's now offering Ghoul new business, helped keep Astasia open, and found Jeturk employees new jobs. Cecilia works with Master Elan now. She says she drew up the documents that are being proposed to Ghoul, so possibly partners in the company. I think I previously said she looks like a secretary, but I think that came off as a bit sexist, because the fact that she's actually doing work and she's not like pushing papers kind of suggests that she has a more responsible role than a secretary might.
Right, we don't exactly get like full title positions for everybody, but everyone is well off and working together.
Ghoul
Is kind of more the point.
Ghoul is trying to rebuild Jet Turk still, according to Cecilia. The Grassley house girls seem to work for Mjorn now, standing behind her when she goes to Quinn Harbor. And I think from here, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
start
she posted the
naming.
harem.
I'm gonna start naming some of them. Arisha Plano and Macy May also seem to be in a relationship now. Previous picture we just posted. Those are the names of the two girls you said were
Yeah.
side characters. Belmora and Gustan can be seen to be paying respects at a gravesite at what appears to be Astasia. If I had to guess, given it's the two of them together, it's Fang's grave. She was
Mhm.
Gaston's partner for a long time, and she gave her life to save Belmeria. I realize I said Belmora earlier. Again, it's the name of a Star Wars planet. It's hard to get out of my head. Sarius and Delling are both part of the public inquiry into the former Benerit management. The four Peel CEOs seem to be in a retirement home after their company assets got sold out from under them. It doesn't appear as though they tried to rebuild.
I just love the idea of Master Elan piecing out and going, it's like, by the way, I'm sending my 4 moms to retirement homes.
I mean, they had no choice what they do.
Yeah.
Seto appears to be going to an elementary school now, because you can see on the blackboard. Funny that they're using a blackboard, but I guess that's just an Earth thing still. They're learning addition at the moment. I specifically remember because there's an addition problem that's scratched out that says 1 plus 6 equals 8, and they got it wrong. So that's the level of schooling he's at.
Oh no.
Prospera is wheelchair bound, possibly completely paralyzed at this point. Suletta has opened at least one school already, is going to open another on Earth. Still recovering from the events of 3 years ago, she's gaining control of her body, has slight permit burns across the edges of her face. People love that because it gives her like a tanuki look, apparently. Suletta and Mjorin got married at some point and learned to cook. But I think they keep referencing they're going to go home and cook, which is great
Mhm.
for if you remember Yashura's amusement park, where they very first thing that they got put in together, they couldn't cook and were eating like frozen food out of a helmet.
Oh yeah.
So if there's anything that's a callback to anything, that is that.
Gosh, that's
Uh,
another thing they could have like slipped in there if they had like 12 more episodes of time, right?
yeah. All right, and my last thing, Suletta's voice actor's opinion on Suletta and Mjorn's married life. And this is just a rough summary because it was, a hand-me-down from somebody else's translation.
Hmm.
So since Sulimio, that's the combined name, decided to be together, they'll be fine no matter what. They might bicker over small things because they're living together, but that's only human. They'll spend time with Keychain Airy in a lively way, but they'll also spend time for important things, just the two of them. Things like cooking together, all the small things in life that bring joy. She wants them to live happily like that.
I think that's cute. That's just a cute image overall. Uh, I'm trying to just imagine like the relationships that we've seen between the two of them during the show, and just the constant sinusoidal wave of just like Suletta still being anxious even at that point. It's like, oh no, she's forgetting about me again as it goes down. It's like, oh no, wait, she does love me. It's like, oh no, I'm being forgotten again.
Well, because she just has a nervous energy about her. That's just who she is.
Exactly.
Well, what about you, Griff? Any final thoughts to wrap into this all up with?
What would I wrap this all up with? I'm I'm really not sure. I'm not sure there's really much else for me to say other than just like to go over every single thing, to like go over each episode, the things that I liked and the things that I wish I could like see more of. Like
You know,
obviously we're both sitting here going, we wish we had more episodes.
it does sound like something we could do in a different recording.
Do you think perhaps maybe we could do a recording ranking all of our episodes of Rich for Mercury?
Saying that out loud makes me also think maybe we should do one for the characters as well.
You know what? I think we're gonna go ahead and do that then. So, now that we've reached the end of the series, we're going to go ahead and do what we do with a lot of them, and that is go to rank everything that we can.
Oh, whoa, hold on. That was a cut moment. That was a give me an outro moment. Sorry, I said I was going to say this an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I know. I've got.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm joking about it being so long ago. Actually, it was only an hour 20. This is actually our normal recording amount of time for which Mercury.
Yep.
Yeah, so give us a quick cut out there so I can include that at the end.
Wait, what kind of quick cutout?
Thanks for
just
joining us.
actually end
Yeah.
it then. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
give me a wave moment so I can add the thing that prompts people to watch our other videos.
All right. In that case, sorry, I need a reset. My brain got completely staggered by that. So I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us today here at Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around, everyone. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?